Hi, today I'm here with you with Liz Lochhead's poem My Rival's House. Liz Lochhead is a Scottish poet. She was Scotland's poet laureate for a long term. She's always in search of interconnecting poetry and culture and people. So she's considered to be, or she's known as a poet of the people. She, in many occasions, had appeared where people were like poetry reading sessions and things like that. She read poetry to children. So she, though she started from art and she was at first a student of art, she continued as a poet and she became a huge success. Anyway, Lockheed has many national tendencies. She's a pro-independent, independence actually poet, and she's critical of the relations of England and Scotland, and she famously said that in one speech that I am sick of being colonized in my own country. So she alongside many other personal tendencies as a poet, like his feminist attitude, his representation of a female voice in his poems, she has national attitudes, and she combines them in her poems. My Rival's House, anyway, on the first reading of it, on the surface, seems to be a totally personal poem, a poem about a very ordinary subject matter. But I think the poem has some other undertones, national undertones. So stay with me till the end of the video, in which, in the ending, actually, I'm going to explain what I think about this poem. So my own interpretation comes in the end. Let's go reading the poem. The first sentence is actually the first line is actually the title. My rival's house is peopled with many surfaces, and then she explains what she means by these surfaces. Ormolu, a gold-colored alloy of copper, zinc, and tin used in decoration. I will show you a picture in the next slide. And gilt means these workings of the color gold over the walls and other surfaces at a home. Slipper satin. Slipper satin is a color actually used to. It's like the color of silk used in traditional ballet slippers. That's why it's called slipper satin. Lush velvet couches. Lush means very impressive. Cushions to so stiff that you can sink in. So everything is so new, everything's so unused in this house. Tables polished clear enough to see distortions. So they are so polished that you see distortions. Just have this in mind. It can mean something when I add up my own commentary in the poem. So suppose that this impressive home is something like this. There are polished glasses, there are gilt surfaces, there is ormolu and many other things. That there are cushions that there are furnitures, items of furniture maybe that are not so much used. So everything is taken care of greatly in this house. We take our shoes off at the door, at her door. Now we know that the house belongs to a woman. We take our shoes off at her door, shuffle, stocking soled. So they tiptoe, they actually slide somehow on the ground so that they won't damage the surface. The parquet floor is beautiful and its surface must be perfected. So everything is so uneasy in this house. Dust-covered drone shades won't let the surface color fade. So there are shades on the windows, so the light would not the light of the sun actually would not ruin their polished, beautiful surface. Silver sugar tongs and silver salver, these things, my rival serves us tea. She glosses over him and me. She's shining between the two. She's like a sparkly thing. I'm all edges, a surface, a shell, and she makes her feel she's not enough. She's not maybe deep enough. I'm all edges, a surface, a shell. She, she, she's just the appearance, and in depth of her depth is she doesn't feel good. So she's trying to maintain the face or keep her composure. And yet my rival thinks she means me well. So she's pretending, but she knows that the rival is not meaning her well. But what squirms beneath her surface, I can tell. But I know that beneath this lush surface, impressive surface, her pretensions, there is something else. She pretends that she's kind to me, but she isn't. Soon my rival, so we know by this him here and me and here that there is a man between the two that and they are maybe rivals for over this man. Soon my rival, cap tooth, so she's taking care of her health too. Polished nail will fight foul for her survival. So she thinks that there is something wicked in her mind, in her rival's mind, deferential, daughterly. I sip and thank her nicely for each bitter cup. At first, we might have thought that maybe these women are jealous of one another because they both are in love with the same man. It is somehow true, but it's not the way we thought about it. One of them is the mother of the guy, the other is his wife, his girlfriend, his partner, something. I sip and thank her nicely for each bitter cup. So this bitter here can be a reference both to the bitterness or the bitter taste of tea and also the bitter in a metaphorical sense of the term. And I have taken this picture from the internet, so yeah, you can see her nails, her polished nails, her teeth, her being polished, generally speaking, the man and the woman, and she's serving them tea. And I have much to thank her for. The son she bore, first blood to her. Now we know that she's the daughter-in-law. Never can escape scot-free. But it seems that this good guy I have as my husband, as my partner, has has actually price to have, and this is the mother, the sore potluck of family. So we cannot just consider him apart from this toxic family, as especially this mother. And oh, how close this family that furnishes my rival's place. So it seems that there is no way out. That you love a guy, but there is a mother who is not maybe so much kind to you, and she knows that she would never be part of the family. She's just in the rival's place. So she's they're even not a guest or a welcome guest, we can say. Lady of the house, Queen Bee. Just have this Queen Bee in mind too. She's far more unconscious, far more dangerous than me. Listen, I was always my own worst enemy. She has taken even this from me. So she's so mean, she's so wicked that I cannot even pretend that I am my own enemy. She's my number one enemy. She dishes up her dreams for breakfast, dinner, and her salt tears pepper our soup. So she's just crying because of her jealousy. So the salt tears are just the pepper of their soup. The salt tears turn out to be the hotness that they make the soup hot. That it is so biting. Maybe she won't give up, and they're enemies anyway. That's why she won't give up. I've premised my own interpretation of the poem. Actually, I think that the queen bee and the daughter-in-law can represent respectively Great Britain or United Kingdom, something, or the queen anyway, and she Scotland. We know that in many discourses, especially in colonial discourses, countries are represented as to be women. Okay, land as always a woman. We have mother nature, we have mother country, mother tongue. Okay, so it seems that we have England and Scotland, and they are the rivals over the guy. The guy can be Scotland or the population, the people of the country, and they are fighting over it. And anyway, Scotland is part of the family, that this toxic relationship is not going to end in an easy way. And by the way, simply she loves the guy and they want to have a time together, but they are now in the rival's house. So they are now part of England instead of being in an independent place and position. So I know that this might not be interesting, or you might not like it, or you may disagree, but this is the way I see the poem. So I think but when but by the things I know about Liz Lochhead, I cannot believe that she has just written this poem to talk about this. There is something, there are some undertones in it, and I see what is written behind the scenes, or what is written between the lines in this way. So you're free to interpret the poem in your own pretty ways. And this was it. Thank you for listening.